Welcome to Midnight Valley. From today, I will start explaining the Wrong Turn series. Today, I will explain the first Wrong Turn movie released in 2003. Happy listening. Two college students, Rich Stoker and Hallie Smith, are rock climbing in a remote forest of West Virginia. Rich reaches the top of a cliff before Hallie. She asks him to help her. Rich doesn't respond to her. A drop of blood falls on her face from Rich's hand. At that moment, something throws Rich's body from the cliff and tries to yank Hallie up. She quickly cuts the rope and falls to the ground. She sees Rich's dead body lying in front of her. Hallie attempts to escape but is caught in a line of barbed wire and pulled back into the woods, screaming. Sometime later, medical student Chris Flynn drives through the mountains of West Virginia on his way to a business meeting. There was a large traffic jam on the highway, so he turns his car and stops at a gas station to ask for directions. There was no signal on his phone, so he tries to call using the phone in the gas station, but fails. He asks the owner about an alternative road, but the old owner doesn't answer him. Chris finds a map and decides to go down Bear Mountain Road. The area was red circled. Chris asks the reason. The owner tells him that the road is newly built. It was the only way to reach the highway. So he says good luck to the owner and leaves the place. The owner mysteriously says that it was Chris who needed luck after Chris departs from there. After driving for some time, Chris finds the road divided in two ways. Here, Chris takes the wrong turn. He finds a dead deer on the side of the road. While driving looking at it, his car hit a car parked in the middle of the road. The car belongs to a group of college students on a camping trip. Jesse, Carly, Scott, Evan, and Francine. Chris apologizes. The car was punctured. But soon they discover their tire puncture was no accident and find barbed wire wrapped around it and realize someone did this intentionally. Evan and Francine stay to watch the cars while the others go to find help. They have fun on the road. Evan disappears after he hears something from the woods. Francine enters the jungle. She finds his ear on the ground. As she backs away in horror, barbed wire is forced into her mouth by a mysterious figure who garrots her with it. The remaining group finds an isolated cabin and goes inside to use the phone. They discover barbed wire and realize the people live here are the main culprits. Chris finds human body parts in the house, meaning they are in the house of cannibals who trap them in the jungle to kill and eat them. They try to escape the cabin, but the cannibals return home. They are forced to hide inside. Three cannibalistic inbred mountain men, Three Finger, Sawtooth, and One Eye, enter the cabin with Francine's corpse. The group watches as her body is dismembered and eaten by three cannibals. After the cannibals fall asleep, the group attempts to escape, but one of them wakes up and sees them. Everyone starts running inside the jungle. The cannibals chase them. The group reaches a camping spot and finds cars left by previous victims. They see cannibals approaching with a truck. They try to make up an escape plan. Chris will distract the cannibals while others will escape using their van. Chris gets shot in the leg while trying to distract the cannibals. Seeing him getting shot in the leg, Scott tries to distract them so that the other three can escape. The girls take Chris to the truck where Evan's body spills out. They find Scott, but before reaching the truck, the cannibals kill him with arrows. The rest escapes before they attack. The road was blocked and their truck got stuck in the mud. They decide to walk. Chris uses a stick as a support. After some time, the stick falls into a bear trap and they luckily survive. Jesse, Carly, and Chris stumble upon an old watchtower with an old radio and try to call for help. The cannibals arrive there. At the moment, the radio starts responding to the group's call. The cannibals find them and try to enter the lighthouse. Chris tells them that they have to jump into the trees. Chris jumps first, then Carly and Jesse. The cannibals find them and start climbing the tree. They move quietly, but Three Finger finds Carly and kills her with his axe. Chris pulls a branch while Jesse lures the attacker for the former to release it, knocking him down. After that, Jesse and Chris flee and hide in a cave. Jesse tells Chris that recently her boyfriend broke up with her. She was sad and depressed. After their friends learned about her breakup, they immediately take leave from their work and plan this trip so that she feels good. And now they all died without any reason. Chris comforts her. In the morning, they start moving. The cannibals find them, pushing Chris down the hill, then kidnapping Jessie and taking her back to their cabin. Chris survives the fall and luckily meets a police officer. Before he can explain his situation, the officer is killed by Sawtooth, who shoots him in the eye with an arrow. Chris hides. He plans to get out of the jungle using the police car, but Sawtooth takes the key. Then he takes the dead body inside of the car and starts driving. Chris hitches a ride by holding onto the underside of the truck as Sawtooth drives it back to the cabin, where Jessie has been tied down to a bed in preparation to be eaten and watches fearfully as the cannibals chop up the dead policeman. Then they try to kill Jessie. Before they can move on to Jessie, Chris sets the building on fire and drives the truck through the wall. He fights off the 3 cannibals and frees Jessie. They escape the house. The cannibals were also ready to kill them. But Chris shoots in the petrol can and kills the cannibals by blowing up the cabin. The pair then drive out of the forest in the cannibals' pickup truck. They stop at the gas station. Chris takes the map before he and Jessie leave, and the story ends. In a mid-credits scene, a deputy sheriff who had received the radio call earlier investigates the remains of the destroyed cabin. Laughing insanely, Three Finger, who survived the explosion, rises and kills the deputy. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more video like this.